Oh, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again here for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night. It's not really a Saturday night, but that's okay. We don't have to talk about that, right, boys? Oh, boys, we got the Liquid Death over here. We sponsored by Liquid Death.
I'll take some stock.
I've never seen them gold and red. Is it a different?
They're iced teas.
Oh,
have you ever done it in a Liquid Death iced tea, Joe?
I have not.
Oh, no. Baby, we got to open up your horizons.
I'm not the biggest iced tea guy. Well, I'm not a big tea guy in general, but yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't like those either, actually. I didn't find them they didn't tickle my fancy. But that's okay. Liquid Death. I've actually, there's not a lot of Liquid Death there. I like their lime seltzer water, and that's pretty much kind of regular water in cans.
They've really expanded it's not just water anymore.
They're all over the place, baby boy.
Gotcha.
They got all types of flavors and
diversifying their portfolio, baby.
It's not a lot of sugar in it, which is nice.
Yeah, it's probably good for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us here on a beautiful Saturday night. I got my buddy Chris on the ones and the twos. We got Pat Lynch coming here with the cough. The Arnold Palmer. He should get a John Daly.
It's the Armless Palmer.
Oh. And we got Joe Keneally here, rocking the sexy legs that you can't see today because we, unfortunately, are inside.
They're a little bit there.
Weather was
a little bit of a dry, drizzly night. So it's okay. It's kind of a
dry, drizzly night.
Would you say a fall or flannel fest type of night, Joseph?
I would not say that it is a flannel fest type of night. Only given that it's, I don't know, it's like low 70s, but.
Yeah,
is it kind of flannel fest Samuel Adams time? Sure.
It's 69 degrees outside. Nice.
Nice. Chris, what can I get you, buddy? What'll make you perk up and get you talking in the first 15 minutes today?
He wants a jack-o'-lantern.
What's up, buddy?
Do you have $1 million in there so he doesn't have to work anymore?
That would be nice.
He wants the Jacko one.
I know he doesn't want that one. Chris, Hoppy Logger or the Flannel Fest?
I'll try the Jacko.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I'm sorry, Pat. Excuse me for telling you how to live your life. Pat, what can I get you, buddy?
Can I do the flannel one?
Sure. Here we go, buddy. Mr. Keneally?
I want to try the flannel. I was it's a toss-up between the Jacko and the flannel.
I love the Jacko. This is the only reason, honestly,
flannel's brand new.
Let me get that out that way so everybody can see his beautiful face over here. What do you think, Chris?
That definitely tastes like pumpkin.
We had this last year because we did the pack, the Fall Fest one, the Oktoberfest pack last year. I love their Jacko, and you can't get this on its own. This is the only time you can get this one.
Oh, it's part of a variety pack?
Yeah, you cannot get it on its own.
So this reminds me of, when you go to a guy's house, and he's like, I got some crap in my refrigerator.
I think Pat does that joke, Chris. I'm sorry, you can't take that from me.
Chris, do you want to try this, and I'll try the Jacko?
Yeah.
It's been a whole season.
Jokes around here, right?
Featuring robust notes of toasted bread and caramel, balanced by a light floral hop aroma. This classic German lager paired with a flannel will keep you cozy during your coldest of beer season adventures. Pat.
Nice, Chris. And Jacko cinnamon nutmeg aromas recall memories of freshly baked pumpkin pie. It has the ideal balance of seasonal spices with a crisp, refreshing finish. This pumpkin ale pairs perfectly with the transition of the summer into the cooler nights.
This really does taste a lot like pumpkin. Like that. This is the closest pumpkin-y beer.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry, Chris.
That's all that nutmeg, baby boys.
Joe, you should enjoy your beer before January.
That's because it says on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and yours, guys, doesn't go all the way to December like mine and Piers. Mine and Piers is fancy.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, boys. Oh, yeah. That feels good on a Thursday. It's been a long week. I don't know about you. Mm-hmm. We had our first night off last night. Me and Chris decided we were just a little burnt. Took a night to actually cook a nice meal. Nice. Lay on the couch. First time I watched TV, honestly, I think in
where the mobile phone at? Where the mobile phone at?
Where the laptop at? Where the laptop at?
He was in the bathroom for 2.5 hours last night.
Chris was alone, but he was still in the bathroom by himself.
I was in the shower crying to myself.
Letting the rain hit him, baby.
Just letting the shower hit me so it didn't look like I was crying.
Yeah.
Oh, it was nice, but yeah, that's okay. Excited for another beautiful podcast here, even though last week's numbers are not great. Even though I did everything that I said I was going to do. I put in the clip, the short. Mm-hmm. I actually did that as a clip this week, too. So our clip is already out there. So check it out right here. It'll be right here. You can check out last week's clip.
It'll be right there.
Showing the short. So we've got a clip of a short of a short.
A short of a short of a short.
Shortception.
I feel like it's the inception of podcast.
If he says one more cool thing, he says.
Boy, that's awesome. But the numbers are not that great this week. And again, it just goes to I could not get it. I thought I had it lined up. There's nothing more frustrating. I wasted 45 minutes trying to over and over again trying to get it to play to sync perfectly.
Sync up.
And then I did it, and it seemed like it worked. And sometimes the software will just be like, "Nah, forget that." And then I'll post it, and it'll be like,
So interesting.
it'll literally be or it'll be a clap noise, and then me and Pat 3 seconons later go, and I'm just like, "You mother son of a bucket." Yeah.
That's so interesting
Nice.
and
Well,
strange.
there's only one clap this time, so maybe that'll help.
The other thing I think is me talking so fast, and I can't catch the lip sync, so it really kind of messes with it.
Really need to slow
Yeah, down in the beginning.
things down.
Slow it down like Joe Biden. I don't know if you guys have watched. So there's 2 hilarious clips I saw this week. One, they did a Seinfeld opening. You know how the first couple or every season I think except after the 7th season when Larry David quit, Jerry would do an opening joke monologue. They did a his opening song, and Trump from one of his speeches sound like he was doing a stand-up, like a Jerry Seinfeld stand-up act. Check it out on YouTube. It is hilarious. I saw it on We Might Be Drunk podcast. Dude, it's hilarious. But then the not so funny is, I don't know if you saw Joe Biden. He was talking to the UN, I think. They had something the United Nations kind of stuff. And he was just like, I just want to go to bed. I'm tired. And they're talking about some serious stuff. He's like, I'm tired. Aren't you guys tired? I think I want to go to bed. And it's just like, how is this dude running?
Hell yes, that's the right answer.
How is this dude?
So happy he's running again.
Chris, you should take some notes.
How?
I don't know. He's doing something right. I'm not.
Here's the thing with politics.
Yeah.
The political system right now is in such a frayed, crazy state. Did you guys hear about I believe he's a senator. When he was running, he had a seizure or something right before, so they didn't want to.
Wasn't that the guy from Pennsylvania?
Yes.
I think
yeah.
he had a stroke.
He's a governor, I
He had
think,
a
right?
stroke. No, he's a senator.
He's a senator.
Dumb question. Is that yours, Pat, or mine?
It's fine.
Okay.
And now he's wearing a hoodie and shorts around the
Yes.
Capitol.
Yep.
And they're pissed about that. And he's had a couple of real good zingers on his Twitter. He goes, I guess if I was, what did he say exactly? I don't, you have to look it up. But basically he said, if I was fondling a dude's nuts and something else, they'd be writing folk songs about me. Making a joke about, is it Bobart that was grabbing dick at the Beetlejuice? Thing?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, making it. Yeah, I mean, he'd been throwing shade at all the politicians that were talking shit. Even one guy's like, "This is stupid. This is stupid." He jumped in. He's like, "You're in it too." It's like WWE. He just came in. He's like, "You suck." He's like, "I didn't even say anything that bad against you." He's like, "Shut up." It's just been
Politics are
crazy.
They actually
ridiculous.
lax the dress code as a result of him in Congress.
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
You're not allowed. You were not allowed to not be in there without a suit and tie before.
I'm not against it, but I'm also like, they're making too big a deal out of it.
Exactly.
Like, this is such a non-important
bigger issues.
thing.
I mean, Mitch McConnell can't
Compared
change his
to
suit
other
because
stuff.
He can't move his body.
Yeah, that.
Well, this guy,
Nancy
this literally
Pelosi's running
dude,
again.
They actually spray paint his scoot a different color every day.
Nice.
legitimately, that guy, the governor of Pennsylvania, he had a stroke.
Senator.
I think
You
he's
wouldn't be in the
senator.
Capitol if you were a senator.
He's a
governor.
senator, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah,
I don't
senator.
know.
He's a senator.
Pat said he's a senator numerous times here.
There's some, but I thought he had a bigger position because
That's a pretty big
he
position.
ran and he had a stroke, and they legitimately
He ran
had
against-
to
he ran
pretty
against the
much
Oz guy, the Dr. Oz.
they had to pretty much cart him to everything, and he was just a standing by. Now I think he's better. He also just went.
This was during his
Yeah.
when he was running.
And he had to, and then he went to rehab too. And I think he's finally, with all these, you can kind of tell he's kind of getting over it. But for a while there, he shouldn't mentally or health wise, he shouldn't have been doing this. It's how do you have this guy
in Congress? He's probably the 10th worst guy. Let's be honest. Health wise.
Probably.
So there's actually
John
here's
Fetterman.
yes.
That's his name.
Here's another even crazier one. I think this is in New York. It's either New York or Rhode Island. A lady is running for some type of political position, and her husband have homemade.
Porn online.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a nurse.
Yes. And she sells them to make money.
It's got my vote.
And she's using.
I don't think she's had stuff up online for a long time.
No, but she did this
I think
before.
that's the
But
issue.
she's
Is she
using.
running for office or he running for office?
No, she's running
running
for
for
office.
Nice.
I don't get why people are upset about it. She's what if her and her husband are consenting.
Here's what's worse is I don't think it's in public domain anymore. I think they took it down, and people have put it back
right?
up
Oh,
online.
I didn't know that. I didn't.
Which is like
I thought
the
she
whole
was. She was.
revenge
I think
porn
she
thing.
was selling these for
It's
a while.
in New York.
I do
Yeah.
believe. Yeah, she was on
I thought it
like
was OnlyFans.
a chat.
No, I don't think it
a
was OnlyFans.
chat cam type
Yes,
website.
yes, and you could pay for her to do certain things.
Yeah, stuff
Oh,
like
never
that.
mind. This is a different person. This is a
But
guy that's actually making
I
one.
don't think she's had him public for a while, and then somebody fished him out and has reposted him online.
I think
Illegally.
the lady's from Virginia.
Okay. Yes, I think it is.
She's running for the Virginia Democrat House of Delegates. or
Yes,
something.
she's definitely Democrat,
This
and people are.
This is a statewide. Get shit. Let's move on.
But I'm saying, why? I don't get why that's an issue.
We're
It's always been an
we're a very
issue.
moral
Because it
country,
doesn't
Peter.
carry our Christian values.
It doesn't. It's not the Puritan way.
They got to
sir.
be good, like Lauren Bobart.
They're not. They're not having sex to try to procreate, Peter.
Okay, that's fair. I just think it's kind of. Well, this is actually a great segue.
This is not America anymore, sir.
All right, I gotta find the cell phone at some point, but I can do this one without.
Do you want me
the
to pull
cell
up the emails?
phone. Yeah, if you don't mind. So, but this one's good. I thought. Okay, so I had two thoughts of this, and one thought was, "Fuck California," and then my second thought was, maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, Skittles banned in California. Is that what you're bringing up?
I wanted to say. So when I originally thought of this, I was like, F California.
Why don't you explain what's going on?
Well, hold on, and I brought these, so I'm bringing it up. So I brought these to say fuck California, because in California currently, they passed a bill to ban Skittles
Why?
because they are pretty much garbage. I think it's like
It's right here because one of
I think it's the chemical- the
chemicals
chemicals,
in question
yeah.
was on the recipe.
Yes.
The recipe, but now it's been banned from the list, so they're not sure if it's in there or not. It still looks like.
Is it Red 36 or whatever it's called?
these dyes, and there's chemicals in here that are in California.
Red dye number 3.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that really it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really bad for you.
Number
So-
4. Number 4 is really good for you though.
So I brought these for us to share so we can say F you to California. But here's the thing. Then I really thought about it. And
Oh, they got the lime flavor.
These are
these are just mystery flavors. So you don't know which ones you're actually going. They're original flavors, but they're not.
They gave the rainbow bag.
This one's got red 40, not red 5, so we're good.
I think that's kind of funny. So this is the Pride bag to celebrate,
Yep.
LGBTQ. I don't know all the letters
I didn't know
anymore.
that.
But instead, all the Skittles are gray in this bag, as opposed to colored like the rainbow of a proper bag of Skittles.
Yeah.
So
And then, but here's the thing. I thought about this too, though.
I don't know
If
you
we
can
don't
see
have-
those on camera
yeah.
or not see them.
Let's see if I can give you. I'll zoom in on this. But so 2 parts. There's a funny story to this too. But so okay. First thought was fuck you, California. Why you tell me what I can and can't eat? But then I really thought about it. And there are things in America
These are some old Skittles, by the way.
that they are. They're hard as rocks. They were like 60 cents on
Let's
clearance.
see why.
That's why I bought them. Because I love you guys.
When was Pride?
June.
June.
I think I lost a tooth.
Okay. I think I'm choking on one right now, but I'll come back to it.
So I said, like, and first thought immediately is fuck you, California, why are you trying to tell me what to do? But then it's like, first of all, these companies don't give a shit about you.
No.
They're gonna do everything the
What's
cheapest.
interesting about this? You can't tell the flavors as easily when you don't know the color going in.
That's the point. So they don't give a shit about you, and they're gonna feed you whatever it's gonna give them the best profit and get you coming back.
Yeah.
And you need somebody to be coming in and like, hey, some of this shit in here is really bad for you. Maybe we shouldn't sell that to people.
Here's
California.
my issue. I'm kind of I don't know the whole story, but good on California
Yep.
for doing that if that is the situation. But this should be something that the FDA should be taking care of.
That's
Like
true.
it shouldn't even get to the
California.
level where a state has to vote on this kind
It's
of
true.
Let me ask a question then. What's the difference between the Melodyne number 5 is bad for you? This is bad for me too. Why when they stop banning on this? Where do you stop the banning? Where do you start the banning?
Because I don't think people know that the chemicals that are in
you
here.
don't know that eating a sugared candy is bad for you?
No, but they understand that it's bad for you. But there's chemicals in here supposedly that can cause that are the more you consume can cause cancer. And there's nothing here telling you that. Like that tells you, hey, you drink that, you're gonna have liver problems. Mm-hmm. This doesn't tell you. There's dyes in here.
List the ingredients on this. I don't know what the hell's in this thing.
No, but they do have a government warning from the Surgeon General,
yeah.
just like cigarettes
It doesn't
do.
really have a Surgeon General one. It has more of a government warning telling you that if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be
And
drinking.
you can't operate
Yeah.
machinery.
And you shouldn't drive a car or operate machinery and may cause health problems.
It's like in Europe, there's like their Gatorade's better for you. Their food's better for you because they are like they're more
food
concerned.
in Europe is so
because they're more concerned about you.
People. I mean, I say this, but food in Europe is better, and people are like, "What? America has the best food." Yeah, best tasting, but there everything is so much more fresh, and you can just taste it. It's more.
They don't allow
organic.
as many of these chemically dyes in there.
Yep.
That America allows. And when I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? Maybe we do need like, hey, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to make the best profit, but let's maybe not kill everybody with cancer.
I mean, that's a lot
It
of the
still
art.
has the same number of dyes in it, then that one is kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. You know, it's great.
I don't. Oh, interesting.
That is very interesting, actually.
Kind of along these same lines. I mean, that's kind of the argument that the what is it? The UAW, like the automotive workers, the union for the automotive workers, are going through. They're on, I don't know, day 3 or 4 of their strike, something like that. And their argument, the automotive industry is making the argument, oh, but our bottom line, we're going to go bankrupt. It's going to be bad for the company, which has never happened in the history of any company ever. Not one, and allow me to explain, not one company has raised the minimum wage or paid their employees more and then gone bankrupt. Google it, look it up. I'd love to see a company.
Because they raise the prices usually to offset it.
Well, yeah, but it's like the argument is that they're making now their top CEOs have gone astronomically, percentage-wise, increased their bonuses, their salaries, and they're like, we still haven't changed.
Well, also when you incentivize so much with stock comp, the shareholders and the people at the top of the company are mostly focused on share price, and you drive share price by driving profits.
But prices have gone up, paid to the top, C-suite kind of level people, C++, C++,
He's right, C-suite
coders. They're getting more money, but the bottom dollar. I mean, you can make the argument now that are you still looking for your phone?
Yeah, it's okay. I won't let it distract you.
Don't worry about it.
No, I think it's probably somewhere down here. But I get what you're saying there, Joe. Here's the thing. And the other thing I don't think they talk about is, well, there's 2 things. One reason they're talking about a 40% raise is
that was the increase that CEO
the
said.
the CEO has gotten over the last 4 years.
Yep.
The other thing is they don't talk about they almost did go bankrupt because they're shitty run companies by shitty people, and the government we bailed them out and it was a shit deal for us.
Had nothing to do with employees though.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, when you're saying, hey, they're going to go they're scared to go bankrupt, the possibility is already there because you guys are such shitty fucking run companies.
Well, I mean, they almost went bankrupt during the 2008.
Yeah, and they got bailed out, and that was a shit deal for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
but it hasn't changed. I mean, that's the kind of you see that across not just the industry, but most companies in America right now. That's probably one of the largest arguments is all these executives getting these enormous, kind of doing what Pat's saying, like trying to make the most out of the bottom dollar, make the most that they can at the lowest, what's the word I'm looking for? Like cost to benefit ratio or.
What's up? Should you put it down a bit to the cat maybe?
Oh, you're still looking for the phone?
Yeah, I might have to go upstairs and look for it in a second, but that's okay. And here's the thing, it's going to be a fight. They're not going to give. Neither of these are going to give in.
Now, are all the mechanic workers? Is it
And
the people
it's the same thing with the actors and the Actors Guild. They're both not going to give in because this is a big one. If you don't get it now, you're not going to get it.
So is it the people that build the cars or the people that work on the cars after they build, or is it both? Are they all the same union?
I think it's
I
the people that build the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like you go to the dealership and your service department, they strike all the time too.
Yeah, I don't think it's that.
Those are different.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 different ones.
And I don't think they're striking across the entire industry. I think they're strategically picking some of the major pain points that if we do it here, it'll hurt more, as opposed to doing it everywhere and just halting all production of automobiles.
This means they're going to offload those jobs to different countries at some point.
No, so Joe's point is, yeah, they're not even doing it all the whole, like at a manufacturing plant. They're not doing the whole manufacturing plant. They're doing certain parts, knowing that if they don't have parts here, the rest of the factory can't work because then all these other guys can still go to work. It's not their fault those parts aren't there, so they still have to get paid while the guys who are striking don't get paid. So it's like, and they're able to kind of move it around. It's a very different strategy this time with the striking. Instead of everybody striking, they're being very strategic in what people strike at where and when.
Sounds like they should have been doing some cross training.
But no,
CEO Pat.
No, but in the contracts, the union contracts, that's very specific. Because I used to work. You can't.
Yeah, I know.
Like you and me we could be at the same company.
Yep.
We can't. We might have jobs where if I touch your thing, I'm gonna get fired.
If you're screwing that bolt, Peter can't screw that bolt in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're going to see unions start popping up more and more. I personally think, I mean,
especially with the billionaire class.
I think with the everybody's getting, not everybody, but a majority of people are getting tired of not making a living, working their asses off. And I get the argument that, hey, not every position is a skilled position and anybody can take it, but the minimum wage, 20 years ago versus now, or 30 years ago, or even 40 years ago versus now, the gap has become bigger and bigger, that there's got to be something so that normal people can make a living.
I saw an article this week that here in Chicago that they're making moves to try to move it from a tipping system at restaurants to no tipping, and you make a $17 wage for the waitress.
I think that's a good thing to do too. I mean, that's
but restaurants are going to counteract, they say, with a bunch more service charges on top of your food.
It's already expensive.
So
it's hard.
So you'll be paying either way. You'll be paying.
It's hard. Yeah, it's a difficult situation. It's hard.
I mean, you could just think about it. None of us can we can afford houses, but it's tough. It's not easy. Like where our parents didn't have to pay for college like we did, and their houses were cheaper.
Or if they paid for college, it was nowhere near the equivalent.
It's just a different time. And now you got AI coming for everybody's job. It's going to be a very interesting one. Did you guys see? I put this in the notes. This was what scares the shit out of me. I would never bring a kid into this world. The United States owes $33 trillion.
Nice.
Yup.
That is an insane number. And they're fighting to raise the debt ceiling so they can continue to add to that.
Did we just fight to raise the debt ceiling?
We fight that every year because you're not supposed to.
That's right. They're going to shut the government down on
at the end of September.
Let's shut it down, baby. No taxes, baby.
We're still going to have to file them on time.
Here's what you do. You take the
You're just going to have clients bitching at you about your refunds.
You take the defense budget, where an article just came out that 40% of the cost that goes into defense just disappears and is not, speaking of the plane from last week that also disappeared.
Another thing.
They found it in a lake.
The defense budget is something in the trillions, and it's every, whenever they renew the salary, it's something in the trillions, and something like they did an audit recently. This is something that you can Google, that about 40% of the money that went into the defense budget could not be tracked or traced and is just lost. It's become a black hole.
It's
of
also
just
fascinating that
money.
we spend more than the next 6 or 7 countries
combined.
Yep. Of also 6, I think 5 are allies of ours.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, when do we become such a political podcast, boys? This is insane.
Political times, man.
You're throwing the topics out there, Peter.
Times are crazy.
We're just talking about some Skittles, baby. I just wanted to make sure California doesn't go fuck itself.
You guys
are
talking
taking about Skittles, baby. I'm not giving up the Skittles.
Talking about Skittles, auto workers. Now you guys are talking about defense budgets.
What's next, Chris? How you feeling, buddy?
Wake me up when we're on to something new.
Oh, you can't say that. You're on the podcast, you son of a bitch.
I can.
Joe, you mind looking up that? What do we got on there? I can't think right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I actually have
I got it.
I got one for you. This actually is not on the list.
Sorry, if it's not on the list, we're not talking about it.
So I was listening.
I may be able to chime in on this.
For some reason you want to ask off, we talk about the Roman Empire.
The Are You Garbage podcast.
Thank you so much, Pat, for interrupting his sentence.
I was listening to
now we're back to the way we are.
Yeah. To the Are You Garbage podcast today. And I thought it was a 9-month ago podcast, so I was going to steal some ideas. I'm like, yeah, we're going to be cool. Nobody remembered this podcast from 9 months ago, and they had a great idea.
It was from 9 minutes ago.
It was truly 9 hours ago, actually. But that's, very close. So, I thought it was very topical, and as a person, this is something I would like to know what you think and what do you do, and then so the Kippy, who's the smaller fat guy on there, went to a Jenny's ice cream or a gelato place, gelato, yeah.
Yes.
Who's making the noise?
Jalopy.
It's me.
It's Joe.
It's Joe. Joe's not the one on the mic stand.
Yep.
So he went there, and the guy in front of him says, "Hey, do you want to go ahead of me? I'm going to taste a few of these." And he's got about 5 or 6 IPAs in him. He's like, I'm in no rush. I'm not trying. Didn't want to be a jerk. He's like, no, go ahead. Do your thing. No big deal. the dude was on like kind of like a first, maybe like a third date or something, and he was trying to impress his lady by trying like
the guy
in front of him so Kippy's with his wife.
The guy offered him pass up. And
yes, pass him up. There's a little bit of a line, but he offered to pass him up, and Kippy didn't want to be like a jerk. Like he was like, hey, go ahead, try a couple, no big deal. And he thought his wife maybe wanted to try one or two, like so he didn't want to be like, we'll try a couple, and then this guy sitting behind us. The dude proceeded to have 7 different tastings of gelato, and Kippy was losing his mind.
That's on him.
100%. In my head, first thing I thought was, I've gone to Jenny's Ice Cream with Lauren before. Even if I want to try, and there's a line, and I want to try a few, I will not. Like I just in my brain, I'm like, nope, just let's go. I don't want to be that dude asking them to, having this lady follow me around and me tasting and testing and dipping and dopping. Like, nope, just I'm gonna pick one and go with it and pray that it's good. I think 7 is kind of pretty ridiculous. I start to freak out after 2 when I'm there. I'm like 2 or 3. I'm like, come on, bro. There's like a 9-person line. Not only is this dude screwed, like he didn't feel bad. He wasn't pissed at himself, but he could just see like the guy who was doing the testing. He was starting to get all like flustered. He's like, because there's literally a line out the door, and this guy is just like trying to pretend like he's a gelato like sommelier.
Kind of sore.
Sommelier, yeah.
And I thought it was a good thing. I would not. I don't. Even if there's nobody in line, I'm not. I don't know why, but for me, I'm not comfortable just taste testing like 7 different things here.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's like 2. I'll as I'm waiting in line, I'll look. All right, that looks good. That looks good. I know what that one tastes like.
Yeah.
All right, let me get 2. Oh, okay. Let me try this one. Can I try that one? Oh, I don't like either one of these. Can I go with the dark chocolate, please? Like that's usually how it goes.
Come on, Joe's going. Can I just tell you, your vanilla? How's your vanilla? Let me try your vanilla.
Exactly.
Vanilla's good. All right, we're good.
Exactly.
Let's go with the vanilla. Chris, what do you think, buddy?
You know what they got? They got gelato. You know what else they got? Gelato.
Get out of line.
Gelato or gelato? Get out of the line.
Here's
in that situation, you got to be like 2 to 3, at the most 3 samples.
That's what he said.
You have to have
the most 3.
You have 3 ideas of which ones you want to go with, and if you've never been there, you try eat 3, and then you pick one of the 3.
Yeah.
Like I know, like in most situations, I'm going to get ice cream. I'm getting soft serve vanilla. I'm a very simple, plain kind of guy.
Yup.
Pat, it seems like you were on the side of the dude who's trying 7 different flavors.
Well, I think that
Pat's the kind of guy.
I think the guy that I'm a decisive person. So I would have been in and out of there anyways. I look at it and I'm like, this is what I want. But the guy would have been the guy that if you cannot bitch about him saying, hey, I'm going to try a bunch of stuff. Do you want to go past me? And then you're like, no, I'm good. It's like,
well, just try to be friendly and be like,
I would like it to be like, hey, if you're on someone's ass in golf and they're like, hey, do you want to play through? And then you're like, no, go ahead. And then you're bitching every hole about them being slow.
But I think I don't think that's a similar thing.
I don't think golf is a little bit different because you could still pass a person.
Yeah, if you see that guy's going slow, like he didn't really understand that this dude was going to try every single flavor.
Well,
Well, did he know that
if you had a chance to pass him and you didn't take it, that's on you.
Did the guy? Well, the other question is, did the guy say, "Hey, I'm going to try like 5 to 6 of these"?
No,
flavors?
I think it was just like, "Hey, I'm going to try a few."
I mean, like you can't fault the guy for getting mad if he's saying a few.
You know what a few is? A few could be, that could be a few to him.
The fact that he gave him the opportunity to pass up, and here's the thing. It's 7 flavors. It's not going to take 30 minutes.
Yes, no, he was there. Legitimately, the guy, he's taking a flavor, and he's like, "No, I don't like this one."
You also got to think about
this one, and it's like, after the 4th one, I could see it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, I'm the impatient guy who's there, who's like if you're in but I've been in Jenny's Ice Cream, and I'm just like, come on, dude, seriously. What do we 4, 5? And you got this poor lady who's sitting here like she's got to scoop it out. She's got to get a new little scoop thingy.
But let's be honest. If in my brain, if this guy's like, hey, I might, I'm thinking about trying a few. You want to pass me up? That's a red flag to me. Like, yeah, I need to pass this dude up because he's gonna be here forever. That's a red flag.
That's a good call. I give you that. I definitely give you that.
Because the average person who tries 2 or 3 isn't going to be like, hey, I might try a few.
I don't know. I'm also the guy who's like, that almost feels like I'm being a dick if I say yes to it.
I'd be like, yeah, give me that one out of here. Let's get the fuck on.
I don't want to be that guy who just jumps in line. Like, you know what I mean? It's a weird situation. Now I'm stuck behind this idiot.
I'd have taken
who's trying to impress this girl. If I was that girl,
all I know is after he got 3, I would have yelled at him and be like, okay,
all right,
asshole, pick one.
I would have taken the lead block and I'd have kept going to the end zone.
I would have hoped there would be another worker there and just try to swingle my way into getting out of there.
That's the other thing I don't understand.
Or
Why
I would
they
have
don't
checked the
have
freezer, see if there's like a half a tub in there or something. I'm just taking the half tub. I'm out of here.
I just want the pint in the
Peter
fridge.
goes back, starts scooping ice cream out for people. What do you need?
I thought it was very interesting though, because immediately in my head I would never try a different flavor. I would just say,
Yeah,
okay, that's it.
most normal people know what they want when they get there.
What I normally do is play for that because there's a place in over there in like Saginaw that has like a bunch. I walk up and I look around to see what looks good, what I'm interested in before I'm in line, and then I get in line and I make my order and go.
Yeah.
They're like, do you want to try anything? I'm like, no, I want that one. And if I want to try that one, I'll come back next week and get that one.
Smart, see? Decisive guy.
The only thing I did give a little bit is I guess they got some like weird flavors. So like maybe you want to try all the weird flavors, but maybe that's a little bit in the business too. Like, hey, maybe when we get a little samplers for some of these, like ones that are like, I think like one's like avocado toast, like kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
in the blue hell
Yeah.
is getting avocado
weird.
toast gelato?
It's weird.
It's up there, dude.
Does anybody know the difference between gelato and ice cream?
I'm glad you asked, Pat. They asked that question on the podcast. Ice cream uses more heavy cream, where gelato uses more milk.
I just thought gelato was like an Italian name for it.
No, it's actual difference in
Because you always see Italian restaurants have gelato and not ice cream.
Yeah.
They can't
Americans are
they
fat.
can't
and we
afford
like
the heavy cream.
Can't afford that heavy cream,
Milk
baby.
might be better for you though.
That brings up
More natural.
probably is.
More natural in your body.
Probably is.
Probably is.
It brings up a great question, Pat. How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Every time I go under an aqueduct, under a bridge,
So that's got to be at least like what once
once a day.
Seriously, you think?
No.
Do you guys remember last Saturday when those girls kept coming up and she kept asking, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? I'm like, why are you asking me this?
Oh, yeah.
Who are you? Get away from me!
Oh, I think she asked that question to me, and I was like, every hour on the hour.
All day, every day.
And the
Yeah.
reason it came up was Lauren, and because Lauren's always
Lauren went home and Googled the Roman Empire.
she is legitimately like she's usually pretty behind on the old times, and so that's like a last week thing. It's a big thing from last week. And she texted me today. She's like, "How often do you listen to Roman Empire or think about the Roman Empire?" I'm like, "Why are you asking? Why does it matter?"
It's
Yeah.
it's a thing on TikTok and Instagram and all those social media platforms.
I mean,
right now.
there's
But
a
do
lot
you-
of
yeah.
like interesting things that you like do. Honestly, I guess the most recent time I thought about the Roman Empire is I went with my dad to see the Pompeii exhibit at the Science and History Museum like a month or so ago.
Terrific.
A month or two ago. It was no.
Thanks for the invite, asshole.
I did. You didn't get that?
It's lost in the mail.
Yeah.
Mostly lost in the mail like all my invitations.
To what?
My wedding.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll remember that in your speech.
Cool.
There was a time I wanted to
Nice.
go to the Pompeii exhibit. Fuck you, Mr. Lynch.
And Pap the perv didn't invite us.
That'd be the perfect time to pull that one out.
Oh, man.
Let's go back to. So, I was really wondering why is this like? How does this come up? Like, why is this a thing right now? So I read it. It's kind of funny, actually. It's actually a very interesting thing. I think it's a good topic. So I guess some guys, when they daydream or like they're just sitting there, like a lot. I don't know about you guys, but there are a lot of times where people are talking. I just daydream, or you're sitting in the car and you're driving. You just daydream, and I guess a lot of guys go to thinking about the Roman Empire. For whatever reason, there are a lot of guys who just daydream and then they think about the Roman Empire. That's kind of a thing.
Are they thinking like gladiator Roman Empire or like just life in the Roman Empire?
I think they're thinking, those lead pipes. If they just never used lead pipes, the Roman Empire might still be going on today. Who knows where advances in technology would have been? Things like that, Pat. But what it was is what came up is what do guys think about when they're just like, because girls always want to know what are you thinking about? Why are you like? How can you just sit there and not do anything or this? And that's what it was. Like a lot of guys will go to, and I was thinking, what do you like if you're just kind of daydreaming, just spacing out? What are you thinking about?
Walking into oncoming traffic.
We're gonna have to cut that. Take the break.
man.
right
Someone's
now.
yelling at you from across the street on Ogden Avenue.
Man, oh man.
That was good, Chris.
That
That was quick, too.
actually you deserve to give yourself a clap on that one.
No,
Get
it's
it.
okay.
Yeah.
If I knew which button was that.
That was great, Chris. I don't know. It's not the Roman Empire. I don't
No,
think.
mine's mostly golfing.
That's good.
Yeah, I play
Yeah,
golf.
it has-
I play golf courses in my head. 'Cause I played
you
some of these
really?
courses so many times, like I know the course, and I'll just play in my head.
Wow, that's really interesting.
I'll
Okay.
tell you what, my golf game in my head is much better than the real one.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
go back to some like if we had played like over the week. I miss golf right now so much. I'll think about like some of those shots that I hit this year. But honestly, where I go to is some of the times, like if I'm running, and I need to pick me up because that's where a lot of the time I just daydream is running. Like I'll straight 10 minutes, I'll be lost in some out of space. And honestly, it'll go back to playing flag football.
The other one I space out on when I'm running is my UFC walkout song.
I like that.
Are you like visualizing you walking out in the UFC when you're running, or what is that?
I'd be like the main event and like.
And no, Chris.
So like if I was in Chicago, it'd either be Sweet Home Chicago or it'd be the Bulls pregame music.
That's nice.
Oh man!
Like they would get me in the locker room with the guys with my team wrapped around me, and it'd be like, "What time is it?" And I walk out to the music.
That would be pretty sick, especially when it's at the United Center too.
Yeah.
You're coming out into the United Center.
As you can see, I've zoned out a lot on the treadmill doing this, thinking a lot lot of it.
And then he sees Francis Ngannou, he's like, "Oh no, baby!
Oh no, man! Goodbye."
Why is it always in Chicago?"
And then Chris runs back out of the octagon.
How much am I making on this? Okay,
Chris does one lap. He's like,
X amount of dollars. Cool. This will be a quick 30 seconds for a couple $100,000.
Chris will pull a Bob Sapp to start tapping out.
I whispered to Francis when I'm running by, "Yo, man, one punch, I'm going down, baby. It doesn't even have to be good."
I was about to say, well, good jolly old Francis. You're not worried about getting tapped out. You're just you're waiting for the lights to go
Chris will
out.
just go down and just be like, "I'm armed."
I go to Joe before the fight. Hey, we got insurance on him, right? We got good. You threw it up to $2 million.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Awesome.
How much we bet on Francis for this one?
Yeah.
Chris, baby, I got it all on Francis.
Joe, what did you
tears his ACL
what do you
walking across the
daydream about?
I guess it depends. Like recently, it's been woodworking. Just because I've been having to cut wood and do stuff around the place. So I do daydream about what retirement will be like and what hobbies I'll take up. Woodworking is like a big thing. I think I would look forward to doing.
That's a tremendous segue for us. But that honestly, Joe, a little bit lately, just because of how much we've worked, I think about I don't want to get old, but there are times where I think about like in my 60s because I know I'm gonna, it's like, God willing, no accidents or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be healthy, fit. So I'm excited for like 60s, 70s, 80s. Like I'm gonna have a blast. But that so I do think about like how much am I gonna golf? Where am I gonna live? Things like that, and that'll definitely draw up a lot of time.
Something I read recently about retirement was that for a lot of people when they retire, and we've talked about this personally and on the podcast, is that what tends to happen for a lot of people when they retire is a lot of them either go back to work or find a part-time job, something to occupy their time. And what I was reading was that you should have 6 hobbies when you retire to keep your life busy.
Oh,
like
wow.
a minimum of 6, because one hobby is something you can do by yourself all the time. Maybe another 1 or 2 hobbies are with people. Like maybe you like to golf.
With
maybe
friends.
you could do that with yourself, or you could do that with friends.
Yep.
But you have to have a minimum of 6 things that occupy your time, and at least a minimum of those things to have a healthy, sort of happy retirement. If you get the opportunity to not have to work.
I feel like 6 is a lot, but I like that that kind of ambition, because I think about all the people who are now retired. They've got like my dad.
That's exactly it.
The Cubs doing nothing.
You got to think 6 though is not a lot for somebody who has
all the time in the world,
unlimited time on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Like you got to have 2 or 3 things to take up your time during the day.
Lauren's thinking about volunteering. So the cat that we had fostered and then got adopted, the lady there was so impressed by Lauren. She wants Lauren to kind of help with some volunteer stuff, and she was telling me about it. I'm like, that's great, because it's nice that you can do things for. She really likes animals and stuff, and I think about like another kind of like it's almost like a job.
Just want to live with her. That's all.
Yeah, not at all. But I thought that was really cool, and that would be a great kind of volunteer thing, and then thing you could do for the rest of your life if you really wanted to, and then bring that into retirement. But to bring one of the topics I had on here, because I read an article on Yahoo that people are now pushing younger, like people in their 30s and 40s that have these dream vacations they want to do when they retire, to do them early. Like, just don't wait, because too many people get closer to retirement and traveling is much harder when you're older, I guess.
I mean, everybody, like Dave's always telling me, like, all these people talk about all these plans when they retire, all these traveling they're going to do, and all these things they're going to do. And you know what they actually do? He's like, they talk about their doctor visits and where they're going to go eat next.
Yeah. So I think we should get it on record.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a dream vacation you want to do? And we should start working towards it. And I'll start.
Euro trip.
I want to do a Euro trip would be great. Like, let's go backpack for
like,
2 weeks.
Do you mean like what do you mean define your, like the movie, or like you want to just go to somewhere?
Oh, I just like it, like it would just be like visiting a bunch of spots, not like the movie.
He's gonna get a super hot pen pal. He's going to get cheated on.
Who's got a guy name
by his girlfriend.
I'm gonna get
Matt Damon's gonna sing about it, and then he's gonna go to Europe.
I mean, that's a pretty awesome time.
I'm gonna get the guy Muscuzzi on the log tunnel.
Fred Armisen.
Yeah.
No, that would be awesome. Oktoberfest would be definitely is one.
That would be cool.
I want to go.
I mean, like, yeah, just going all around,
Yeah.
like October, or like not all around Europe, like just a bunch of different stops.
I want to do a road or RV trip to the Kentucky Derby. I want to do that before we're too old, for sure.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Colorado's up there, going skiing
Oh,
in
yes.
Colorado.
Yes, let's do that. So if we get hurt, that it's not the worst recovery ever.
Yeah. I think
Me and Pat falling down a mountain, nice.
Nice.
I think a
Yeah,
bigger
I'm not sure I can handle Colorado skiing.
and then I think a bigger, more intense one would be going to Australia, because that's a whole.
Yeah, let's go to
I
Australia.
think
I'm
it's
not sure I can
14 or
handle the
16
18-hour
hours.
flight on there.
It's something crazy.
Because it's like
that.
it's like 6 hours to Hawaii, and then it's like another 18 or something to like Hawaii. It's
Yeah,
an outrageous amount.
I
It's
think
like
Japan from Chicago to Japan was like 16 hours or something like that.
Joe, do
Maybe
you want to go?
17.
Do you want to walk the trail of Lord of the Rings in New Zealand?
That's a different country.
It's right next to each other. If you take a flight, you must stop there.
I think, you know what? If I'm that close, might as well, right? Go visit where they shot that. Supposedly it's beautiful.
If that's it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
They did most of the Game of Thrones in Europe, right?
It was in England, I believe.
Yeah, Northern Ireland, and then a couple other countries in different parts of Europe.
Got it.
But I think a large majority of the day-to-day stuff on the show was in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I gotta make some plans here. Get some traveling going. I'm watching, like Frank, our snowboarding buddy, Frank. Dude's gone vacation like every other day now, and I'm like, how much time has he got? And I think about it, I'm like, who cares? This dude's living it up, enjoying vacations. We just got to be traveling more. My other buddy, John Jacob, just came back from Africa, and it's like, yeah, that's it. That was his honeymoon.
Yeah, I was about okay. Wow.
Very, very cool. Did a lot of hunting. Hunting.
Really?
Well, I think that's what it was originally. He said, right? He said he planned the
Yes.
hunting trip, and then he turned it into his honeymoon.
And she went there too?
No, they separately honeymooned. She honeymooned in Mexico on her own, and he honeymooned in Africa on his own.
Is this a joke or are you
Sorry.
being serious?
This is a brilliant idea. Why wasn't I told this 6 months ago?
To be 100% honest,
That
I was like,
sounded would have been like on point with that.
it kind of, yeah. I was like, John Jacobs like, I'm gonna hunt, and she's like, I want to do this, and he's like, cool, go do that.
See you in 2 weeks.
I'll do
Yeah.
the Oktoberfest.
You want to do the Oktoberfest?
But I mean, I don't imagine she's going hunting, so she's got to be doing other stuff.
What are the options? What's the green one again?
It's the
Hoppy Lager?
No, I don't want that one. Give
wanna
me
try-
the Oktoberfest.
No, so they stayed on this beautiful safari resort, and then during the day they did the tours and
kinda,
like
separate and-
no
Oh.
like so during the day they did all this stuff together. In the morning is when he would hunt, or at night. So then she would be back doing like she'd go to like the spa or to the bar.
So he didn't do any of those like big game super hunt things that
Well, you
that are
kind
out
of
He
there.
did do that, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of do those in the morning because it's like so hot down there.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry, Joe.
so
That's what I
like,
meant,
yeah.
I don't have, you know what? That's okay. That makes sense. I don't have a real good comprehension on what hunting in Africa
Yeah,
looks like, but that
you
makes sense.
You
Yeah.
either do it early in the morning
forget
or you
it's
do
summer-
it
it's
right
summertime there.
right before evening.
Okay. I kind of assumed that they were.
Yeah, they're opposite of us, so it's summertime there now.
I just kind of thought they were big long things that you kind of had to go out there for. Is this not going to be a good time?
Sorry, Joe.
I figured it'd be hoppy you.
Hey, I mean, this is the one I would have gone for.
Yeah.
Dry hopped golden lager. Doesn't look like it could hurt.
No,
Doesn't
not at
sound
all.
like it could hurt anyways.
Oh, let me tell you what, Joe. Things hurt. You know what's funny? So I remember last week I was listening to the podcast and how we talked
Almost
about
like an IPA. Sorry.
yeah, how we were talking about the Oktoberfest, and like this is a great beer and like it's good, like really enjoyed it. And then you and me were finishing our second one upstairs as we're leaving, and we're both like, I'm so glad to be done with this beer.
Yeah,
it's good for like
this
it's good
is
for a
not.
couple. Actually, this beer I like more in draft. If you find it on draft, it's much better.
You know what, Samuel, and I really like besides the pumpkin is the cold snap. I really enjoy
Peter's
the
a
cold
big
snap.
cold snap
that'll
guy.
become. Yeah, that's the winter
It's a
one.
good beer.
That's a spring one.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it really?
Never had it
okay.
on
Cold snap.
It snaps the cold.
I guess I don't know what a cold snap is. What is
Oh,
a cold
just
snap?
like snapping the cold, like coming out of winter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Another way to say, Joe, spring is sprung.
Honestly, I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was a
It's cold,
sharp
it's short.
cold came about.
That does make sense. That makes sense.
But the other one makes
do you want to take a? Let's go back to the list here.
yeah.
I'm kind of thinking.
Back to the list.
We talked to you have some neighbor and dinner. If you want to talk about that, I haven't heard. About
Oh
this.
yes, this is a good one too. Okay, so Tom Segura on the latest podcast, they said goodbye to
California.
their
Texas.
producer Nadav.
Nadav?
Yeah, Nadav. It's so weird. He said this on so they did a farewell. He just felt like he didn't fit there anymore. He was just done. And he like instead of like having like this big opportunity anywhere else or doing anything, he just like I don't feel like I fit in this group anymore. And it's time to move on. Like he wants to go. He's gonna like consult. He's gonna do some other projects. He's got his own podcast. I'm like, this dude's like. I think about all the people who have kind of gone off on their own from big podcasts and have never done shit. Like you don't hear about their names at all anymore.
Who was that?
Like Josh Parter used to be part of Your Mom's House,
I know
and
that guy.
he's a nice comedian. He's an okay comedian. He's had his own podcast, but I mean, it does like ours does like 100 a week. He's a name brand comedian. Does like maybe 500 to 1,000 a week.
Oh wow.
Really?
So it's like, and he was on a podcast that gets millions of views.
Coming for you, baby.
Yeah. For no name guys from
14
Chicago,
years from
baby.
now, we'll be up to you.
No, so not, and I just it didn't make a whole lot of sense, but but on that podcast they talked about Tom, or no, it wasn't that podcast. I'm sorry, it was actually on the radio this morning that I was listening to. They talked about the guy that his neighbor invited him over to eat food, like come over for dinner, and he's been over there before, and his wife is not a good cook.
Sorry, can I ask
Yep.
a very quick question? Is the Nadav thing completely separate?
Oh,
from the
absolutely
neighbor
separate.
dinner
I don't know
thing?
why I thought.
Oh, okay.
There was another story about neighbors. There was an absolutely different story about neighbors. It was about how Christine had her neighbors come over. They come over to swim. Kids play. She decided, like 15 minutes of them coming in, she was tired and went and took a nap and left Tom, the neighbors, and all the kids to like swim and do everything while she's taking a nap. And they just kept kind of asking like, "Hey, where's Christine at? Where's Christine at?"
Like,
Like,
it's kind of an asshole move. I'd be pissed.
yeah.
Okay.
And then she came down. And she's
I
like,
wouldn't be.
No, and
A
like the
smart
neighbors
move.
were very cool. Like,
You'd be the guy
I'm
taking
so
the nap.
glad
Who
you
you
got to
kidding?
nap. Yeah.
Exactly. I like her move. It's a smart move.
So sorry, but and I was thinking the neighbor thing, but that's
Got it.
But it was
Okay.
on the radio this morning and he's like, "What do you do? Like, my neighbors, her cooking sucks. I don't want to go over there and eat, but I don't want to be rude. And like, what are ways to get out of it?
I have explosive diarrhea.
Why don't you bring
Wait,
why don't you suggest a potluck and bring home your own food?
Well, I think the invite was, "Hey, we'll cook for you guys. You guys can bring a glass of wine. We'll have food for you."
Well-
It was kind of that deal.
What was the
But you cooked last time. I insist that I'll bring some food this time.
Sorry, what was the pretense of this or the context
So-
of this?
so-
This guy's neighbor asked him over for dinner?
like, so they're kind of friendly.
Okay.
And
Single
they-
guy or married guy?
No, so he's married. His wife and they're married. He's married. They invited them over to come have dinner with them, a glass of
pineapple- was it
wine, kind of
pineapple?
like like a
Was it pineapple
like
on
an
the
old
front door?
person
It's a fun-
kind of adult
fun thing.
thing, bullshit. Yeah.
Yep.
But the wife sucks at cooking, and the dude hates her food.
Maybe it's
And-
just one time. Have they eaten
This
there one
is the
time?
neighbor that sucks at
Yes,
cooking?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and he's saying he doesn't want to go there and have to be forced to eat her food. What is he like? What are his options?
Be honest.
Yeah, I would be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, but then you.
Yeah,
but
I'm
then
not
you're,
being honest.
You're gonna ruin that. Like, you're not gonna. It's gonna make it more difficult. Now it's gonna be awkward. And you're never gonna.
Then you fucking move.
There's
Because
two.
he's probably got 2%.
Yeah, that's because that's
Yeah,
real
it's
easy to
easy.
do in these day and age.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for calling him a fucking idiot, because that's exactly what that statement deserved. You fucking idiot. Are you going to sell your house because your fucking neighbor invited you over to dinner and you don't want to eat their food anymore? You fucking idiot.
Build a
No,
big-
you fucking idiot.
build
You're
a
going to stay
fence.
here, eat the food, and shut your fucking pie hole. All right?
No, but it's okay. So where are we gonna
Damn,
go?
so calm the fuck down.
Where do we
Such a
go with that?
stupid answer. fucking leave
I
this
have plans for the foreseeable future.
Here's the thing. So, but where this comes up is my uncle also got this older Asian lady, super sweet lady. My uncle has helped her with some things. She decided, my uncle's also a picky eater, decided to make her pot stickers and egg rolls.
Okay.
And he doesn't eat that. And then he asked if I want, and is this just, I feel like I've gotten, this scared me. I feel like I've gotten old. I would have, as a 22-year-old, 23, 24-year-old, I'd have eaten any of that. Whatever, try it. Now I'm like,
well, once you get to like, they say like once you get to 35, if you haven't tried something or you don't like something, you're not going to try it. You're less likely to try it.
Yeah, I just like, I'm nervous that like I'm gonna get sick. I'm just things I've never thought about when people cooking for me. And then I thought about like, and then this guy talks about his neighbor, and I'm like, shit, I don't know if I'd want anybody like unless I'm like very, very good friends with him. I don't know if I want anybody cooking for me.
I don't know. I think I think you could be honest with the person. I think there's very tactful ways of being honest where you're just like, hey, the last time I came over, I just wasn't that fond of your wife's cooking. Like, I mean, there's a very
so tough.
I feel like it's a hard conversation you're gonna have, but I feel like if you're tactful, respectful, and don't like call somebody out and be like, hey, your wife's cooking is shit and you're garbage. You know, there's some nice way of doing it. Like, I don't know personally.
I think you fake COVID on the morning of.
I think you just say, like, I'm planning to have explosive diarrhea. And he's like, what? Yeah, because I'm about to have your wife's cooking.
I don't think there's a way of getting out of it. I think it sucks.
Yeah. You're taking small portions is what you're doing.
Or, you know what he said he was going to do?
Fill up on salad?
This could work for me and Chris is...
You got dietary restrictions?
No, you're fasting.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
Oh, that's a good one.
The problem is, though, you know that you got this dinner. Like, couldn't you break? Like, that's kind of the weird thing. He's like, but like, if you're a health nut, it's kind of easier that way.
Yeah. The only thing
I mean, you could say you're on some type of diet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, saying you're on a diet, offering to bring some other, option.
Yeah.
Hey, you made everything last time. Can I at least bring a side, or maybe I'll make the main dish this time and you make the side? But otherwise, I'm definitely
get drunk beforehand.
Getting a small portion and just eating shit.
Yeah. How are you guys with that thought? So think about this. Like, you've done a nice thing for like a tax client, Pat. Like somebody that you kind of know, but it's like let's say like a referral from like Dave, and she's an older Mexican lady.
Pat's not here anymore. He's already moved off the property because his neighbor already asked once before.
If they're bringing you food, are you okay? Not okay? Kind of, where are your thoughts on that nowadays? Are you just a little bit more open, depending on, or is it like if it's like tacos? Yeah, I'm trying it. If it's like maybe like a random ramen-san type of ramen noodle thing, I'm out.
Probably depends on how it smells and what it looks like.
Yeah,
and then also probably.
Are you Mike Collis taking the lamb and rice from
No, absolutely not taking that. I also think it depends. Like if it's something that I'm not really fond of, no. It probably also depends on like how well you know them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a case-to-case situation. Like me and my neighbors probably would never have dinner.
Yeah, I thought about that. Pat would never have this issue.
No, they're very. I mean, we get along very well with the people next to it. They're vegetarians and we're not. It's like they have nothing. I'm not sure what we'd eat. I see him like grilling giant portobello mushrooms on his grill, and I got like a fucking fat steak on mine. it's like how you doing, buddy?
Pat's biting into a raw piece of meat.
One time I was making
water running down his face. This is delicious.
I was making like a small like pork shoulder the one time out there. She's like, "That's a big cut of meat." I'm like, "Actually, it's pretty small compared to what they normally are."
This is the appetizer.
How about you, Joe? What are you thinking? You got a bunch of new neighbors. You got tons of apartments over there.
Yeah, if it's a situation where I'm offered the food and I take it in, like I'm able to take it in, I'll try it. If I like it, I'll eat it. It's getting the sniff test first.
Yeah,
I am gonna try it, or try bits and pieces of it if it's multiple different things. Definitely give it a try. If I don't like it, so be it. But if I'm at a place and I
think I got to be more open-minded again. I don't know how
I would just put some on and
whatever
whatever I didn't like.
I think of it like going to Gavin's family's parties where you look at the food and like some of it you're like,
that fish thing.
We want that.
Like
then you see a fish's head looking at you and you're like, I'm not going for that one.
Yeah.
I
I think it's more because I think I'm not gonna lie to you. Like more or less, I know my stomach, and I feel like I got to be in a good bathroom situation if I'm going to be trying some random food. my body nowadays because of especially going
Beer's
on.
got to be right next door to his own bathroom.
Especially on the carnivore diet.
But
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, for your neighbor's thing, you are right
sensitive
next to your own bathroom.
It's true. No, yeah, you're 100% right. But I'm sorry. I was thinking
unless you're on
yeah.
another floor or something.
No, I was thinking Gavin's thing. But
Pardon
also,
me.
I don't want to leave the party and be like, hey, I got to go real quick and just fucking
I think-
get
I
man.
think I might have left my stove on. And then you walk out.
But boom! Oh, he did. He definitely did.
I have to excuse myself.
Your wife's like, we haven't cooked in like months.
The whole apartment shakes. You're like, Jesus Christ. I guess he didn't turn off his stove. I also guess he's dead. There you go. Never going to a dinner again. Food's so bad, you faked your death.
Chris, let me get that phone real quick. I get some feel good stories. You got any? Is there any tidbits? Do you guys see the?
No, they don't come out until tomorrow.
We all saw this. But how ridiculous was the Nick Chubb injury? Like
I did not. I refused to go watch the video. I read about it and heard about it, and it doesn't sound very
excuse
good.
me.
Is this the one that Max threw up in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, it is insane.
that guy's never going to play again, right? Like, there is no recovery.
He's gonna have
from
two
that.
surgeries, and most likely he'll never be the same. Most likely.
His whole leg
Yeah.
bent for, like, his leg turned into that of a horse or a dog, right? Like,
Oh,
it
God.
bent the
Did he
other
break
way.
any bones or no?
I think he dislocated his kneecap.
Okay.
No way. That was not a break.
I think it went. I think it just. Yeah. Isn't that insane?
They haven't really disclosed what it is exactly, but they just said he's out for the year, and he's gonna have multiple surgeries.
Jeez.
The other thing, did you guys see? Okay, so I know.
Sadly, it didn't help me beat Chris either in my fantasy league.
No, it did not.
You know what killed me? Than that, because everybody loves fantasy football talk. Your fantasy football team. The Pittsburgh Steelers really
Yeah,
boned
that
me
defense. Yeah.
bent me over backwards, and didn't ask if I wanted spit job or anything.
Then asked if you wanted a courtesy look.
Yeah, courtesy like there you go. I couldn't think of anything good. I really screwed that one up. We used to have so many good ones from Cartman. You know, he could take
Yeah, I
me
like to get wine to die.
he at least take me to a grease monkey and lube me up. No, but how about the Bears? Do you think it's going to be? So I know, or if you
Man,
haven't,
Charles Tillman on the bus. What a guy.
That's not inaccurate.
So okay. So here's the
He
thing.
is an FBI agent. He's been on one for a couple of years though.
Yeah.
It was at Hallis Hall, busting Mel Tucker and
To give the
whatever his
context
name
to
is.
the story, the defensive coordinator
It's
for the
national
Chicago
news.
Bears left the team. An unbelievable opportunity to be the defensive head coach for the Chicago Bears. Left it because of health reasons and family issues. And
Unbelievable is a real dicey situation nowadays.
the situation is I think the truth is his house has been raided by the FBI.
They said
But-
that was untrue.
I think that
No,
part.
I think
They said the whole thing was his
I
lawyer
think
said it
all
was
that
completely
whole
untrue.
entire. that whole- yeah.
See, I read like 3 different articles, and like the Hallis Hall was untrue for sure.
I've read articles.
They've all come out
saying
saying like he's just got health issues that he's taking care. He's got like some health and family issues that he's taking care of.
How awful is it to be a Chicago Bears fan right now? Your quarterback comes out and says the coaching sucks.
That was out of context.
Which
a bit.
no, it wasn't. I watched the whole clip. The first thing that guy goes, well, it could be the coaching. It was literally the first thing he said.
Hey, well,
Literally the first question comes out, and to you, it could be the coaching. Yeah, that's not paraphrasing right there. He said it straight up, and then he came after practice.
Yeah, he did.
And
He
goes,
ran back. He ran to his coach. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
He goes, can you guys not cut that clip up like you did? Basically, it's like, no, we didn't cut it up. It was the first 5 words out of your mouth.
I mean,
It could be the coaching. It is the coaching.
But I mean, you say, anything Mike can face, you're not going to be perfect all the time, and he's not the most polished speaker anyway. So I'll give him some slack. That it probably is not how he meant it. It came out really bad, but I'm gonna say it's how he meant it. The bottom line is
It
he needs
sucks
to
that
play
he also
better.
sucks as a
He
quarterback.
needs to play better regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
the whole entire team
Yeah.
needs to play better.
Yeah, him included.
And yeah, it sucked. Like this has got to be. I mean, the Cubs are having a hard time.
No, they
So-
Oh, this
they're
city is just garbage in
On,
terms of the sports team.
What's up?
The Cubs bullpen is cooked. They're pretty much done. They can't have a clean inning right now.
Yeah.
We hit the trifecta over the weekend. Every single Chicago team lost their game. If the Blackhawks were playing, they probably would have lost.
No, they won their prospect game on Saturday, Joseph.
Oh, my bad. My
Yeah.
bad.
They're the only team that's got some hope.
We'll
right
wait till the real season
Yeah,
starts.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
What about the Chicago Fire? Did they lose?
now.
nobody
I don't even know
cares.
they play, I'll be honest. Is their season still going on?
I believe so.
I wonder if a lot of people will show up to those soccer games when
Is it- I think it is
Yeah,
already
when
in
Messi's
Central.
there, they'll be
Yeah.
there.
Lionel Messi plays
They'll
in
be there,
Chicago.
for sure.
They're trying to do something with the. I think they're going to do. So they're trying to do something with the old Fire Stadium. I think it's going to
what is
be
it, Toyota Park.
Yeah. What are they? Who? I think like the lacrosse team's going to be there or something.
Women's soccer teams are, aren't they?
It's potential.
No clue.
Maybe. It's far out
One
there.
that Dansby Swanson's wife plays for.
Okay.
Where,
Take your word for it.
Where does Chicago Fire play now?
Soldier Field.
now.
Soldier Field. Okay.
Yeah. They just moved there as the Bears are moving out.
And their practice facility is by Lane Tech currently and is going to be moving to the west side.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
They're building a huge facility. I think they're kind of pissed about it.
Well,
They're doing,
they're pissed because they gave them land that instead of affordable housing, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, I can understand
then
that.
our mayor is getting just run through the mud for trying to open up city-owned
Grocery
Grocery
stores.
stores. Yeah.
After Walmart left.
They're
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
they're also paying $30 million to house migrants as well.
Yeah, and we have a $500 million budget deficit.
Yep.
I don't know.
Politics.
Yeah, I don't know.
Woo-woo.
I don't know where you go with all that. I don't know what the right answer is.
Talk about some feel-good stories, folks.
Yeah.
We're out. Bye.
Not Let me give him a few, Chris. All right. I thought there's you can watch a video right now currently where 40 heroes lift a Berlin city bus off trapped young man. I would
They lifted a bus off a trapped young man.
yeah, 40 heroes.
Hot damn! Wow.
I would be one of those guys getting in there trying to help.
I'd be kind of curious if the bus did.
Pierre
like,
would
tip
have the
over.
bus fall on himself.
What's
Here's-
up?
The bus
here's
would tip
a-
over on him?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Here's a
Crazy.
feel-good story. Very similar. Police officer happened to see. I don't know the state that this was in. Police officer happened to see a car driving kind of erratically, but nothing crazy enough worth pulling over. Later on down the expressway, sees the same car flipped over on its side. Right, goes to pull over. People are crawling out, but the driver themselves somehow got into the sunroof or the moonroof of the car as it flipped over and was pinned from basically the chest up underneath this car. And the cop immediately went to, he just like told the guys like, hey, we're lifting this right now. Like it jumped to action so quick, starts pushing on the car, calls the guy, he comes, and then more cops come and they're able to flip this car over. Guy is injured, of course, not dead. And of course, he probably got a couple tickets. I know he got a couple tickets, but it was just a quick. It's nice to see a
People,
cop
yes.
doing the good thing.
Getting in there, yeah. That's awesome.
You know, really just jumping in there. And there's good ones out there. there's a lot of bad.
Well, I mean, there's a lot. Yeah, it's like everything. There's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
First baby beaver in 160 years seen in San Francisco Bay Area. Exciting scientists with possibility of recovery, boys.
Nice.
Dude, they were hunted to extinction for like their pelts.
I heard that I think it was something prehistoric in New Zealand. A type of bird just got discovered that they thought was gone for several hundred years too.
Wow.
Just rediscovered. Either New Zealand or Australia. I'm sorry for all you ZZs out there.
In Zimbabwe, I think it's Zimbabwe, in Africa for sure, they just found these wooden structures buried deep into like the riverbank from 500,000 years ago. So humans were, it's like shown that man-made like cuts and like this wooden structure like was made to do something.
Oh yeah, like the wooden structure that they found, like that predates like anything.
500,000. This is the Stone Age.
Yeah.
So like this predates.
It shouldn't. Yeah, it shouldn't be around.
It shouldn't. Yeah, it shouldn't be like this. It's insane.
Wow. I think I heard
500,000
about
years
this.
ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Archaeologists just discovered
Just
this, right?
discovered this,
Yep.
and you could
I think
see
I
the
saw
wooden
something about this, yeah.
Dude, stone tools, wooden tools. Dude, this is insane. 500,000 years ago.
I just read an article that not necessarily feel good, but kind of in the same vein, that they have an estimation that the universe is something like 13 billion years old, and through new technology, they were able to see something that was, I don't know, like 10 or 15 billion light years away, something considerably farther than they've ever been
Yeah.
able to, and now they're thinking that the universe is maybe double its age.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They do say it could be possible that it's space dust, or maybe it's picking up different wavelengths, or there's a black hole and the black hole kind of produces some sort of light as it gets sucked in. So it may have something to do with other things. But I think it was the 70s. They thought that the universe was 2 billion years old, and then
Yeah.
they came out and said, oh, it's 13. Now it could be even double that.
They think the humans, like they don't think they have any idea how old like the first human really was. Like they just keep finding more and more. It's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
We'll end on, I think we already talked about that one. I just want to see if there's any really, really good ones. Yeah, no, this is going to be, I thought this was kind of cute. Kansas farmer plants 1.2 million sunflowers for his wife for a perfect 50th anniversary gift. Can you imagine doing anything that nice? How long do you think it took to plant 1.2 million sunflowers, dude? Sunflowers.
Too long.
Yeah. A long time.
Pat, what are you gonna do for Katrina on the wedding night? Are you gonna plant 1.2 million sunflowers?
Sure. Yeah. I'm gonna do 1.3.
Right in the backyard.
Yes. Or are you gonna spend that $40,000 on that wedding?
I'm gonna dig one big hole and put them all in one hole.
Nice.
And her on the bottom of it all.
Fantastic.
And on that beautiful note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us here on a Thursday night instead of a Saturday night, because these beautiful gentlemen have date nights where me and Chris have nothing. So enjoy yourselves. As always, we said, as our good friend said, there ain't no party like a pregame party, but do yourself a favor, keep it light and fun. Hit that like, subscribe. What did they do, Chris?
Ring the bell.
Or you can. Chris sounds so dead.
What enthusiasm.
Ring the bell. Or you could email our friend here, Pat, at the S&P podcast at gmail.com. Let him know how great his ideas are. And have a great weekend. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.